There we go. Welcome to the Holy Duo. Today we have a very interesting stream for you guys. You don't want to miss it. It's crazy. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. This is the Holy Duo, and this is Dialogue.
You got your man Eddie Ed.
Yeah, and Eddie Ed has not seen any of this. I just put this together. So this is all new to him. Again, I don't want any bias. We're both Christians, so that's bias. But people tend to have different opinions based on what they see. So I want to get his opinion on this. Now we're talking about, you guys see the title, Neo Miss Independent Ruined This Generation. And you see the text message in the thumbnail. And it's an interesting text. There's a lot more that we're going to go through. It's a whole like 2-3 page text that we're going to read through, break down. And then we're going to read through the lyrics of two extremely popular songs that probably shaped our generation in ways that we don't even understand. But it's going to make sense once you see the song lyrics to this text message line. And then you guys can drop in the comments your thoughts and whatever else that you have for us. Okay, so before we get started, I want to preface this as we're just two Christians guys having a conversation. And we don't want any trouble, but you're just in on the conversation that we're having. Isn't that funny? The stream we just did talking about Christians like hiding, and I'm talking about we don't want any trouble.
We're gonna get in trouble, man. Get
but
into trouble.
yeah, it's all good, man. Let's go ahead and jump into this text stream so you guys can see what you got.
My bad, I forgot to read the comments on last stream. Ra has said what's up. And in this stream we have Pancakes in here.
Hey,
what's up, Pancakes? Hey, real quick, do you have another funny clip at the end? What's the
no, I don't have any clips today.
That one for the last time. Yeah. That clip from last time, that was I went back and watched it. I was laughing again. But yeah,
if you guys haven't seen our previous stream, the one we did with adulting, go ahead and watch that. Yeah, part 2. Yeah, go ahead and watch that last bit of it. That was funny. Man, I should find a funny clip whenever we do this, huh? All right. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this text stream. So the snippet that you see on the thumbnail is bits taken out from this, and it's going to make sense as we go through it. So this is a conversation that a girl is having with her boyfriend. And the title of it on Reddit is, let me close out of this. My ex sent me this as a reason he didn't want to marry me. And honestly, the ex might have been onto something, but I'm going to leave this to you guys to, to figure out. So this is the ex. He's saying, it's not like it comes down to one specific thing. One of the big reasons, though, is that I felt less and less important in your life. Called me old-fashioned, but I liked it when you relied on me a little bit financially. For example, when I helped you to make Eva happen, or when I woke up in the morning to drive you somewhere. Now you're making more money than me. You're traveling the world without me and don't need me for any of it. And what I thought was really weird and off-putting is that you're still not satisfied with your level of education, which already was way higher than mine. Let's read this next part, and then we're going to get Eddie Ed's opinion.
Wait, hold on, wait. Oh, okay, okay. So the green is she.
The green is her. Yep.
Okay.
Because she posted this on Reddit to see what people were thinking. She said, question mark, question mark, question mark. Wow. Okay, so then what exactly did you want me to do with this information? So basically, the problem was that I became too independent and successful. You know what? Thank you for confirming I made the right call. I deserve a partner who celebrates my growth, not one who's intimidated by it and sees it as a threat to our relationship. I really wish you luck in finding someone who prefers to stay small. I didn't see any insults thrown in his text message to her, but already she's calling him small, not successful, codependent, and doesn't want to grow. What do you think, man?
Wait, you said she called him small?
She called him salt. The last sentence, she said, "I really wish you luck in finding someone who prefers to stay small."
Okay, so she's like, oh, find someone that prefers to not grow, or
Yeah.
okay. Man, this honestly, he sounds terrible to me. He
Mm,
sounds he sounds like, you know, I guess he's been indoctrinated with these, the red pill stuff. That's
mm,
what it sounds like to me. Like, your lady has to be uneducated. You have to be dominant in every form and fashion.
mm,
It just seemed like he's gotten too heavy into you have to be above. And I don't think those are the correct qualities to pay attention to uh,
mm,
when you're looking for a person. Those are, things that come second to the most valuable, you know.
mhm,
And I think this does show a little bit of what he's focused on and worried about than what is most important when you're looking for a wife, or vice versa, a husband is the character
mm,
traits and things of that nature. I think this shows a little bit about his character, like, you know without physical, you know dominance in different areas of life, he feels like a nobody. And
ah,
I don't think a real guy that has proper values would lean that way so rough.
mm,
I think one could feel something in not being the breadwinner, especially in the beginning or whatever. But things go up and things go down. So that doesn't mean it's gonna be like that forever. That doesn't
mm,
mean like it has to stay like that. So I think that his reaction shows like he might be weak minded.
mm,
And to me, he does sound a little bit weak, for responding like that. And she sounds like she doesn't sound as terrible to me, because I think that she, in this case, the only thing that might sound terrible is the question of, is she trying to be a career woman based type of wife, or is she trying to be, a type of wife that is for the family first? So
mm.
which one comes first in her book is the question that I will pose for her. And if it is the career, then that is bad.
So, okay, so based on what she said, we don't know what she really thinks, but if we were to assume, would you think she's more family oriented or career oriented?
From this, it seemed like career oriented. From this,
Okay.
it seemed
And
like yeah, kind of.
so you're saying the career oriented is not so good because it's not family oriented.
Yeah, I think the career oriented will push aside, more important. If they want to be a family, yeah, I think that would be a little bit more destructive.
Okay. So from what he said, then do you think he wants to lean more toward the family then?
Yeah, I think he may be leaning more toward the family because it seemed like he wants to be that, that man that does everything, you know, providing wise. He wants to
Mm,
be the main provider. So I think that's a good quality to have when you want to build a family. Um,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Let's keep going then because I wrote down your point. So let's keep going.
D over here
He
taking
says,
notes, boy.
hey, you got to, man. You got to. He said, that is not what I meant at all. What a modern feminism thing to say. Don't you think it's contradicting to say you want to get married and have 1 or 2 kids, but then to live such a career oriented life? There's nothing romantic about it. I feel like anyone would have understood what I meant, but I think you just decided to hate me now and anything I believe in. She said, what in the actual HE double hockey sticks. You knew this about me when we started dating. I told you that I want kids, but I obviously want a career. Like, I am studying engineering, for crying out loud. You really think I am just in it for the fun of it? Honestly, were you always this sexist, or did something change when we broke up? And I don't hate you. I just hate what you stand for now. You make me feel like a man if I need you financially. Wait, you feel more like a man if I need you financially and depend on you. Yet you come back and say you don't want to get married because I'm after your money. Make up your mind. So we're going to stop there before we move on to the next. So a lot of stuff gets exposed here because you mentioned like she sounds like she's more career oriented.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like. She said it herself. At the same time, he's saying that she said that she wants to have one or two kids, and she didn't deny that. So she wants a family and wants more career. What did you get from these two texts?
Um, you know, definitely he thinks that she's misunderstanding him, but at the same time, from her text, there's some conversations that have been had, and it seemed like um he knew some information that I guess that he forgot about, and it does sound like they basically she wants two things to be possible: the career
Mm-hmm.
and the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when both can be possible, but in different percentages. Like you have to be majority here and then less here. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
can't be even. One is gonna be more than the other. So it seems like she wants both to be even, which is probably not going to work out for the family, you know. And from what he's saying, is going back to that kind of like that, that red pill lens a little bit.
Mm.
But let me see. I feel like anyone would have understood. Yeah. Um. Yeah, that's all I got for now. That's all I
Let
got
me
for now.
ask you. Let me ask you because you've brought this up 2 times now. You said the red pill. What is the red pill to you? Like, how do you see that?
So what I say when I say the red pill is the point or the perspective that the man has to be in total dominance. Like the man has to be this above the lady, and the lady has to be below. As far as making more money, has the most pull in the relationship. Control. It's like this idea of that with more control instead of a relationship is like that involves two people. It's like just he wants to be you know it's a skewed way of doing it. So when somebody so the red pill community, to me, they just have a wrong way of of understanding the proper way a man should be in a family. Yes, he should be strong leader and things like that, but you can't be a dictator in your family,
Mm.
because your wife is not one that is beneath you as the kids. You guys are to work together, not against each other, or like there has to be um a right order, and being on top of your wife like that in that fashion is not the proper order for things to flow. It's just not going to be healthy.
Yeah. So okay, so you're thinking because okay, so what it sounds like the red pill is like man, and then the woman under, and then the kid under that, right? That's kind of the picture the red pill paints for you.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much. It just seemed like a lot of those guys are just like, yeah, the woman is my object,
Mm.
and I could do whatever I want.
In terms of
In terms of
infidelity.
in terms of just how I want to do things in the household, it's just gonna be how I want it. She's just gonna have to follow me, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. And so when you bring that into Christianity and you examine it, the Christian idea of husband and wife and then kids is like husband and wife next to each other and then kids underneath them both. How is that structured for you?
No, but if you want to go here with the conversation, then I think we're
Yeah.
kind of going different. No, it's God put us the head of the household. That's real, but the head of the household don't mean you're the dictator of the home, and your wife and you don't work with your wife. No, we work with our wives, but we are the head of the house. So that's true, but it doesn't look like how the red pill community explains it. They make it seem like the lady is an object, and that's incorrect.
Okay.
So God is leading us as a family. The man has been put in charge as the head of the family, and then the wife is our support, our helper to make the family what it is, and we take care of the kids. So yeah, biblically based, that's how it is. It's pretty simple. It's not complicated. It's very simple. God is God. God is our God. God put the man in charge of the household as the head, and the wife is the helper. And so we complement each other. We don't fight against each other.
Compliment. Okay. So, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's tough. It's not that I want to go here with the conversation, but I think the things that happen culturally allows us to expound more on some Christian values that may be able to help someone out there. That's the whole
Mhm,
point of this stuff. We're not really out here trying to just go through content. If it brings up a good conversation, I think it's helpful.
mhm.
Okay. So you think the husband and wife are more complementary? Yeah, complementary. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could look at it as shoot. If you want to talk about it like that, I mean, we already know that there's things that we're good at and things that we're not good at. Your wife
Mm,
may be good in areas that you're not, or stronger in areas that you're weaker.
okay.
That's a great partner to have to complement your weaknesses
Mm,
that will make the family benefit, you know? And so we ought to use our strengths and fortify the weaknesses. And a lot of times our weaknesses is where our spouses are stronger, you know? And then the
yeah.
places that we're both weak in, we can work together to understand how to make that area stronger,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah. All right. So, all right, here's an example that I've heard in the past. And the idea is the structure of marriage is the way business is structured, in the sense that in business, you have the CEO, you have the executives, you have the managers, and then you have the employees who work under, or executives, directors, managers, and then the employees. So, when you think of that in a business sense and then in a marriage sense, do you think there's any relation at all into how things are structured and how things work?
Well, yeah, I mean, we already know that there's going to be a president, and then underneath the president, there are other members that make the whole platoon, so to speak, operate. hmm So yeah,
All right. All right. So, would it be fair for us to say that in our company, God is the owner of the company? He's made you the CEO of the company, and then your wife is the so we have the CEO and then we have the executive. So your wife would be the executive, you'd be the CEO, and God owns that whole company. You agree with that structure?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I say it like
So
that is just because, I don't really know what all executive does versus CEOs, but
okay, so
if that's
what's more relatable to you then? Like what structure is like it makes me like, are you talking about like employee, then manager, and
we
then
could keep it
director?
here.
Is
We
that
could
more
keep it
relatable?
here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we keep it there.
Okay. Okay. So when you think about that, you're talking about complementary. So like the owner of the company says this is what the company is, and then he brings in a CEO and then he says, this is the idea that I have. I trust you with your skill set. Go ahead and do the thing. So the founder, the owner of the company is already given the CEO everything he needs to do, and the CEO knows exactly where the company is going and what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the CEO hires an executive.
Yeah.
The executive comes in, and the executive is supposed to execute what the CEO says.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say complementary, how does that look when the CEO says, hey, this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to do it, because my role or my position allows me to operate in this realm. However, you want to execute that, do it, but this is how we're doing things.
Okay. Well, in that scenario, which is a a pretty fair one, I guess. Um, you know, it makes me think of Elon Musk. Elon Musk, when he, because Elon Musk is not the smartest guy in the room when it
Yeah.
comes to his things. He hires people that are smarter than him. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure his exec or whoever's like that he hired to be closest to him, they have certain skills that he doesn't have, and
Right.
but he's using them to he's maximizing their skills to benefit the company.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, the executive that I hire, that I've chosen, is going to come with skills that I'm looking for in that position,
Mm.
that I don't really, you know, essentially need to take or need to be the forefront of, because
Yeah.
I'm looking for that to be covered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there's a mission that we need to accomplish, and I say, hey, this is the mission that we're looking at to accomplish, that's great, because now I can listen to the one that has the skills for or skills in addition to this company to maximize that, and now get input on what areas do you see we can upgrade, what paths do you see that might not be the most efficient to accomplish this mission. Then
Mm.
so we're collaborating, and we're feeding off of each other in the means of getting the best result we can for the mission, or for completing the mission, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. For the mission that the CEO wants.
Yeah.
So what if the CEO comes and he's like, hey, look, this is the mission. This is my role. I'm supposed to point us in the direction that we're supposed to go to. And then the executive comes back and is like, yeah, I kind of don't agree with that mission. Let's do it this way instead. Do
But
you
that's changed.
think this do
Sorry,
you
so
think the CEO has any capability or right to say, nah, we're not doing it that way. We're gonna do it the way that I see it? Knowing that he's not smarter than them, but he has a vision.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's a different case, because then it's not. Um, I just had a great um idea pop in my head, because
Mhm.
you just reminded me of something, but then it left as quick as it came in. Freak. Um, what was it? Um, say that one more time. It might come back.
So the CEO has a direction, a vision that he wants to lead the
It-
company in,
yeah.
gives it to the executive, and the executive is like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this instead. And I was asking you, do you think the CEO has any right or responsibility in his role to say, no, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way, not because I'm smarter than you, but I hold the position to guide us in that way.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I think yes, and the executive or whoever has the right to not like it, but essentially, if it's gonna be uh, uh, a mission that's gonna bring the company, into a good place, given that we can't see the future necessarily, but it's meant for good, and it's approved by the owner above the CEO, then yes, there can be disagreement, but ultimately we're following the owner of who gave the vision to the CEO for a particular mission. Um,
Okay, I
and
like that.
yeah, and but at the same time, because their disagreement doesn't mean it needs to be, um, you know, doesn't mean it needs to be. I forgot what I was going to say, but basically, the disagreement is fine, but we
Mhm.
need to have understanding. There needs to be understanding of what the mission is.
Okay. Who
Ooh.
needs to have understanding, the CEO or the executive?
The CEO knows, the executive, because I think the disagreement might be not understanding that it's good in essence
Mm,
and as a result, but it just might not be wanted, you know, at
mm,
a particular moment in time or
yeah.
understood, so I do think um understanding could help, and understanding ultimately needs to be known just so the mission is clear, you know, but the disagreement may be stemming from an unclear mission or
Okay.
misunderstanding.
Okay. So here is where I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit. So earlier you said the man shouldn't be a dictator in the house. So how in your mind does a dictator operate?
A
I
dictator,
the only reason I
yeah,
asked that is because in the church, like how I think about it, the structure of man, woman, child goes man, woman, child. Well, for one, because God says so. For two, that's the order of creation. And a lot of times you'll hear this lie that, yeah, man comes from woman. But actually, when you read scripture, it says that woman comes from man, right?
yeah,
That's that.
yeah,
I read that a few weeks ago and I was like,
yeah, literally
that
came
hits me a
from,
little bit.
yep,
Yeah. So when you think of that, we are the senior in terms of who comes first in the hierarchy, right? Because it's Christ. Christ is the one who died and then became heir to the throne. And then through him, we become heir to the throne. Because so he's our senior. Okay. When you look at it from that perspective, why then do we not call Christ a dictator?
yeah. That's interesting way of framing it, but I think also, you know, we have to understand the character of God in that sense as well. That although He sets the standards and the rules, you have the option to follow them or not.
Mm,
He gives us the freedom to say yes or no,
mm,
but understand what comes with that,
yeah.
saying yes or no. So, but the dictatorship will not give you an option to say yes or no. The dictatorship
Mm,
will say you have to say yes. And if you don't say yes, this is what's going to be. Not, you can say yes or no, but just know your options come with certain things.
Mm.
They don't tell you, they don't give you options. It's go this way, and if you don't, we're going to force you to go this way.
Mm.
But rather, when you choose your own way, don't get mad for what consequences come, because in essence, you had the freedom to say yes or no.
Mm. Okay, so that's the idea, because that's not the first time I've heard that. So here's a scenario. The CEO says we're doing it this way. Executive says, I don't want to, but then the CEO says we're gonna do it anyway. Isn't that a form of dictatorship if we're using your definition of you have to say yes? Because if the executive keeps pushing back on the CEO, the executive is no longer fulfilling their role of executive, and they kind of become, there's a lot of this going on in the company, right? So would that make the CEO a dictator?
Well, that's also a good way to look at it. I mean, the CEO is not the owner. The CEO follows, certain things, and the yeah. So the CEO is essentially, the follower as well. Now, if he don't obey what the owners say, then he's out of here. You know what I mean? So he has to deliver it differently. Um, so when it comes down to him, if he don't do it, he's gonna be in trouble. So in a sense, there is more of a forcing of the hand, you know, that takes place when it comes down to um, you know, strong decisions that need to be made, you know. So yeah, I do think at points in times it's like, hey, we got to go this way or no way. So sort of, idea. I think there are moments in time for that, yeah. And that's and that's parallel to the example that I've heard for many years, is like when decisions are uncertain, not uncertain, but like when decisions become foggy, the CEO or the man, right? Let's be clear. Like
Mm.
the man
Mm-hmm.
has to make a decision.
Mm.
And in that case, that's a we're going this way for sure. That's not a,
Mm.
because in the midst of getting to that decision, there isn't a ground, and so the decision is to be grounded. Finally, it's like, hey, we're gonna go this way, and this is where we're going, because leading up to this, everything was shaky, but we don't want to be shaky. We don't have no more time to shake. We have to make a decision now, or everything's falling down.
That's
So
a
the man,
very interesting point. Yeah.
so the man has to, aka the CEO, he has to go through with it, no questions asked.
Is that so? Some weeks ago, I heard this pastor and this lady giving a podcast talk about what real submission looks like and what real leadership looks like. And
Mm,
for whatever reason, he kept saying, when it comes to something that we can't necessarily make a decision on, I have to pull rank to make that final decision. He said it multiple times. I have to pull
mm.
rank. I have to pull rank. And I was very confused with you, to be completely honest,
Yeah.
because when you look at what pulling rank is, it's saying, hey, all right, we can't do this, so I'm the final decision maker. I am gonna call in my final decision maker authority now. And then he does it. And the
Yeah.
wife kind of has to understand, because that's what pulling rank is. It's reminding her that, hey, remember that I can make the final decision if we can't come to a decision.
Yeah, I've heard that multiple times. Yep.
Yeah, I I I disagree with that 100%, because you can't pull rank of something that you are. So when you're a man, you have the authority to make the decision on everything, every single thing. Because when you think about it, when you say final decision maker, you can think of it as, oh, we don't agree, so I'm going to make the final decision. But when you think about it, it's, if we do agree, then you're with my decision already. So it's not really a final decision maker, it's a decision maker. Because when the woman doesn't agree, you have to be the decision maker. When she does
Yeah.
agree, you have, so there's no pulling rank. You are the rank with anything that you do. That's why I disagree with it, because it's really sneaky. It's saying that you and the woman have the same role until you disagree with the woman, then your role is greater. That actually doesn't make any sense to me, because in the military, you your higher up can't pull rank on you. He is that rank. He's always that rank. How do you pull rank when you're already that rank?
Yeah, yeah, that's some interesting way of putting it all together. You know, and I I would say doing the example like the CEO and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I hope nobody got confused because
Yeah.
it could. I don't know if we were on the sides or made the sides clear whether or not we were talking about the church example or the Bible example versus the scenario example that
Mm.
we're doing. But hopefully we didn't pop anybody's heads off with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, ultimately, definitely how God designed it is the man is the head of the household, and he's the head of sorry, God is over the family, the man is over the household. He's the head of the
Yeah.
household. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. He says, "What I knew is that you wanted to finish studying. Of course, you're not in it for the fun of it, but how are you still not satisfied with where you are now? And what exactly have I said that is sexist? Please don't use word like that for no reason. What? Not only have I never said that you're after my money, but I also didn't say you completely have to rely on me financially. It just seemed weird to me that you're still not satisfied in your career, and that it doesn't make much sense considering you said you wanted to get married and have 1 to 2 kids soon. How would you have felt if I told you that I will be going back for studying for who knows how many years, and I'll be traveling the world without you when I couldn't even visit my brother without you, thinking I'm out cheating?" And she said, "Okay, believe what seems right to you. I'm done with this conversation." He says, "Yeah, unfortunately, that is the response I expected. It's hard to have a conversation like this when apparently it's sexist these days for a man to want to be a provider and feel important in his own family." She says, "There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a provider. The problem is when you want me to shrink myself so that you feel good about yourself. My goals/ success has nothing to do with your abilities as a man. I've had these goals before we even met. Why I want a master or even a PhD has nothing to do with you. But like I said, I do hope you find someone who can better fit your needs. I clearly wasn't that person, and I could never be, because I have goals which I had way before I met you and will not change them because you feel insecure." He says, I never said I wanted you to shrink yourself. If you think an unnecessarily high education is what will fulfill you, then that's okay, even though it's sad to hear. I'm just letting you know why some attraction was lost. And it doesn't have anything to do with insecurities either. There's nothing romantic about a family man and a business woman. And she said, "Okay," and blocked him. Now, where you were going in the beginning, you were right, because you said this sounds like she wants a career. And yeah, he wants to be a family man, and she does want to be a career woman or a business woman, as he said. In what world do you actually like? Okay, so do you actually see that working in reality?
No, it's not.
Okay.
What about you?
Me? No, not at all. Not at all. And a lot of people were calling him out because He said an unnecessarily high level of education. And I've said this before on this channel, and I will say it again. The education system is a trap because around the age from 16 to 18 to 20 is when the woman is her most fertile. And then right at those ages is when her eggs start to die off. So they start to die off very early. Well, high school ends at 18, your most fertile years. Right after 18, you go into college for 4 years. You're 22. After you graduate college, you have to intern for a few years, or maybe you get a job right after. Okay, so then you work for a few more years. You have to get a promotion because you don't want to be stuck in the beginning position for a while. By the time you end up finding that job, getting a promotion, being in a comfortable position, you're probably close to 30. At 30 years old is when people want to start having kids. That's a little bit later. We've all fallen into this propaganda. We've all fallen into this trend. So I don't think this works. She wants 1 or 2 kids. So you mean to tell me you're going to be a manager in your work position while managing 1 or 2 kids? Like that whole idea, and then having a husband as well who's working, you can't have it all. You can have 25% of this, 25% of that, and this and that, but it really doesn't work in the long run. It causes a lot of problems. And then you also find that the people that do that, they end up having financial problems. How do you have 2 incomes and still have financial problems? It's because you end up spending beyond your means. All right. So let's look at this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it just sounds like their communication, that it exposed how to communicate, because they put in words in each other's mouths, which tend to happen when misunderstanding is there. And yeah, you could see that there's a lot of misunderstanding.
Yeah, he fell for the trap. He was ignorant because in the beginning she said, I want to pursue my career, and I also want 1 or 2 kids. He decided to hear the 1 to 2 kids part.
Yeah.
And then he fell for the trap, and then it comes to reality, and he was like, wait, how are you actually going to be the mother to 1 or 2 kids when you're traveling, studying all the time, going for your PhD and your master's? That's actually not possible. And then we have this whole conversation. So let me go
505.
Yeah, let me go over this one song, extremely popular song in our time. It's by Neo, Miss Independent. You guys should go listen to it. Not because it's a good song, but it's when you listen to the words, ooh, it's like a demon wrote it. All right. So he said, oh, there's something about the way she moved. I can't figure it out. It's something about her. Something
booty,
about
that's
her.
what it is.
It said, oh, something about kind of woman that you want, but don't need you. So you want this woman, but she doesn't really need you. She doesn't need you for anything. Hey, I can't figure it out. It's something about her because she walks like a boss, talks like a boss, manicured nails to set the pedicure off. She's fly effortlessly and she moves like a boss. Does what a boss does. She got me thinking about getting involved. That's the kind of girl I need. She got her own thing. That's why I love her, Miss Independent. When you come and spend a little time, she got her own thing. That's why I love her, Miss Independent. Ooh, the way we shine, Miss Independent. Yeah. Oh, there's something about that kind of woman that I can do that can do for herself. I look at her and it makes me proud. There's something about her. There's something oh so sexy about kind of woman that don't even need my help. She says she got it. She got it, no doubt. There's something about her. Her favorite thing to say, don't worry, I got it. And everything she got, best believe she bought it. She gonna steal my heart. Ain't no doubt about it, girl. You're everything I need. Said you're everything I need. How does she not need you, but you need her, but then you don't need her for anything because you got your own too?
He said it in the first thing. He said the way she moving, the way, listen, all he saw was booty cheeks. And that's it. He said, oh, just something about the way she moved. Yeah, the way things were jiggling. He was jigglitized. Jigglypuff. Like he was Jigglypuff, dog.
Jigglypuff. Wow, that's
He was
crazy.
Jigglypuff, bro. He was sucked in. You know, bro, Jigglypuff had the power to suck you in and take your powers, bro. He
Yeah.
was visually
Wait,
Jigglypuff.
that's Kirby. That's Kirby.
Kirby could do that too, but Jigglypuff could do
Oh,
that as
Jigglypuff
well.
could do that?
Jigglypuff, yeah, bro.
Oh, shoot.
Jigglypuff was a futuristic Miss Independent. We just figured it out, guys. We just figured it out.
Oh, shoot.
They say Smash Bros. Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Bro, I
What
don't
we
think,
talking?
I don't think we
What we
put it together, bro.
What we talking?
Bro,
Man.
it's esoteric knowledge in this thing.
Hey,
Let's go.
but he goes over the whole thing again. She has her own thing. Why don't you come spend a little time? Miss Independent. That's why I love her, because she wants nothing to do with me. Basically, as Eddie had pointed out, this is just about sex. This is all it is.
Just want to get the buns.
I just want to have my way with her. And then when I don't want anything to do with her anymore, she doesn't have to depend on me for anything.
Yeah, he want to smash and dash.
This song came out nearly almost 2 decades ago, 15 years ago, dude. We were 15, 14, 10 to 15 years old when this song came out. And I like this song. Like this was a song. So
yeah,
this
you can move your hips to this song for sure.
Yes.
You can move your hips.
Subconsciously, your mind is taking it in, right? If you can be traumatized by something in your childhood that affects the way you act today, for sure you can absorb words that a lot of people can still. If this song came on today without anyone seeing the lyrics, they could sing you the chorus, bro. That's how deep this song is ingrained into us. So he wants nothing to do with this woman. And I always mention this too. When you look at the dating shows, all of these women are like from like 30 to like 45. It's because she is Miss Independent and she's been used by all of these guys. They don't want any responsibility for her because she doesn't require them to. And now they're here saying, I just want to find the love of my life. And then these dudes get trapped with these girls with ridiculous attitudes and personalities. Oh, I just have a big personality and no guy can handle it, so I'm still single. No, dude, like you're independent and he got what he wanted to get.
You know what just popped in my head, and this
What's
is
that?
bigger than this subject, or this is not particular to this subject of the independent stuff. But just click for me, people. I mean, we knew this, already, but in this moment, it just hit me. People want to get involved with sinful endeavors, but no consequences attached. They want to do what they want to do and be independent of consequences. People love sin. We love sinning, but we don't want to think about any bad consequences that comes with it. We want to be independent from we want the consequences to not affect us.
You're onto something here.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you're onto something. Wow. Yeah.
This is deeper.
Yeah, this is deep stuff, man. This is wow. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. And look, we've been downloaded with this information since we were teenagers. So it's ingrained in us. So when a dude now says, hey, I kind of don't want you to like focus on career because the family is going to really struggle. It gives everyone the right to say, bro, why would you make her feel small? Why are you trying to diminish her, bro? She's an independent woman. You should want that in your life. Should you? Because we just saw that the family man and the independent woman can't go together based on the structure that works the best, like the CEO executive, the founder telling the CEO how things should be. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So thank you guys for joining the stream. If you got something from this, leave it down in the comments below. If you're watching this back, appreciate you for watching. Let us know your thoughts. Remember to like and share it. Subscribe. All right. And Mr. Idea, do you have anything for us before we dip out?
Yeah, once again, if you want us to go longer, just
Man, this is
just
49 minutes, man.
yeah. If you want us to go longer, just let us know in the chat, man. We got you guys for more exclusive content. Hey, but yeah, hope you guys understood what we're talking about when we had our examples, and hopefully everything made sense there. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe.
Yep. If it didn't make sense, you guys let us know down in the comments too. Maybe we could have another stream where we break it down. All right. So, with that being said, it's dialogue, folks.
It's your man Eddie Ed.
Hey, and we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.